The village of Dalton is more than $3.5 million in the hole. Mayor Tiffany Henyard is accused of misusing money, and today she's nowhere to be found.
Very, very diligently, very hard under difficult circumstances to get as much information as we could to share with you.
She thinks she's going to jail. I'm also a former Cook County Sheriff for the Department of Correction, and I suggest that she go and take a tour of that facility so she can see what's in store for her.
Corruption in power positions is nothing new, but Mayor Tiffany Henyard has taken it to another level. Now the consequences are catching up with her, and the feds are hot on her trail. For years, she's tried to evade responsibility, using every trick in the book to stay one step ahead, but this time it's different. Nothing seems to be working in her favor, and the walls are closing in. Let's dive into the latest development, says Mayor Henyard faces the fallout from her actions. Major Tiffany corruption drama. Contrary to the common belief, Tiffany was not elected as mayor by the township, so this whole Tiffany saga was kickstarted when the Board of Trustees appointed her to complete the term of the deceased Mayor Frank Zuccarelli. According to state election law, the Thron Township Board had 60 days to appoint a replacement to complete Zuccarelli's term. The main contenders for the appointment were widely believed to be Trustee Joyce Washington, because of her lengthy tenure and status as interim supervisor, and Trustee Jerry Jones. Thornton Township Assessor Cassandra Stahn was another possible appointment. But we all know how politics works, and unsurprisingly, the Board of Trustees could not agree upon a single candidate. As a twist of fate, the motion to nominate Henyard was made by Trustee Christopher Gonzalez, and Henyard was voted and sworn in minutes before midnight. Though the name seemed random to many in the audience, it was later revealed that Henyard had applied for the position some time ago. Tiffany Henyard was nominated as a last resort, and that was how Tiffany was appointed to the mayor position. I don't know about you, but if Tiffany did not make it to the first round of nominations, they should have taken it as a sign. In the end, it all came down to a ticking clock. Gonzalez later revealed that he didn't want the crucial supervisor decision to be left in the hands of the township electors. Although he had repeatedly pushed for Elston, someone he believed was the right fit, time was slipping away with a midnight deadline fast approach, and the board deeply divided. Gonzalez made a last-minute move and nominated Henyard, hoping that the urgency of the situation would force the board to unite, setting aside their differences to make a decision before it was too late.
The Thornton Township Supervisor, how do you feel right now?
Oh man, I'm overjoyed. Didn't see it coming. I love it. That means that I am truly blessed and everyone loves me. I love them. Thank you.
Fans believe that the Board of Trustees had their own agendas to hide, because they did not want the decision to go into the hands of the public. However, the consequences of a hasty nomination by Gonzalez were faced by the whole Dalton city. The first meeting that Henyard led was a pretty mundane-oriented meeting in which she expressed her motivations to serve the people. She said, "My Board of Trustees and clerk, I want you guys to know that I appreciate the confidence that you have restored in me to lead such a big path of the late Frank Zuccarelli, so I thank you for your support and your love. Thank you, I pledge to the residents of Thron Township, the elected officials, the Board of Trustees, and the entire staff that we will work hard and have an honest and responsible fiscal year. And I also pledge to remember I am a public servant, and I will always keep people first. I was known as the People's Trustee. Now I'm the People's Mayor. And even now, I am the People's Supervisor, so thank you again." Things seemed to be running smoothly until Mayor Tiffany started asking people who were close to the former township supervisor. Rumors quickly spread that Tiffany had a personal vendetta against those who had supported Frank in his role. Allegedly, she felt threatened by those with deep roots in the job, especially when they tried to guide her through the responsibilities of the position. It's somewhat understandable Tiffany wasn't chosen for her skills, and that insecurity apparently fueled her need to assert control and dominate the city. Mayor Henyard's first move was to oust Jessica Jones, with Trust Jerry Jones making the motion and Trustee Joyce Washington seconding it. After a tense silence, the vote was a swift and shocking unanimous decision, with even Trust Gonzalez and Gray Everett giving their approval. But Henyard wasn't done. She swiftly targeted Stephanie Weidman. Next, Trustee Jones again initiated the motion, and despite a brief pause, Washington seconded it this time. The vote was sharply divided at 4-1, with Trust Gonzalez standing alone in opposition. It is interesting that no one asked Tiffany for an explanation for the termination of 2 longtime employees. Even the employees didn't know what was going on, Jones said when it was decided. An employee text messaged me and said, "I'm so sorry they let you go. And I was just what it was a shock. It was out of left field for me. It hurts. I have not been told why I have reached out, and I'm waiting to hear back on setting up a meeting and finding out what has happened controversies." So it turns out Tiffany was already running amok like a headless. But no one was there to stand up to her. You might not know that Tiffany has apparently been bullying other elected officials. Sources reported that Tiffany has been beefing with Township Assessor Cassandra Stahn and locked her out of her office in a fit of rage. When Stahn later got access to her office, she found piles of paperwork sitting on a table in the common area outside her office, an area that sees foot traffic from 50 to 100 people every day. That paperwork included names, addresses, income details, social security numbers, and sometimes medical information about people who come to the assessor's office for help applying for tax exemptions, property reassessments, and other programs. "We have confidential sensitive papers that were in a common area this morning. Some of those documents were gone since the heat started getting to Tiffany." She released a statement claiming that she had reorganized the office spaces, and Stahn was making a mountain out of a molehill. The assessor's office was moved as part of the larger effort to prioritize citizen services. All cabinets were moved as units with no individual files or items taken out of the cabinets. I am happy to provide photo documentation upon request related to the cabinets being moved, without any items being removed or disturbed. I appreciate the hard work our local media does, but I believe the residents of Thornton Township would be better served if the local media focused on news with substance, like Thornton Township being awarded the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, rather than a simple rearrangement of office space. If that were true, then still find it suspicious that there was no paper trail of the announcement of such arrangements anyway. Other members also supported Tiffany's antics and decided to give a long statement claiming that Henyard had never contacted them. Keith Freeman said,
"Have confidential, sensitive papers that were in a common area."
This morning, some of those documents were gone.
Now, since Tiffany wasn't doing much for the community, the rumors about her incompetence reached far and wide. But instead of addressing the root problem, she decided it was a mature reaction to shame the media for not writing good about her. And that is not an exaggeration. I would APPR appreciate it if people stop writing negative stuff about the township and write all the good that we do here in the township. Write the stuff that's the truth, not the mess and gossip that's kid stuff. God don't make no mistakes. He put the right person that he knew was going to do the work and take the lashes and bear the strength to keep going, enduring it all. He put the right person here, because go check my numbers and you'll see what I'm really doing despite what people write. I bet that's false. After trying hard to save face, she ultimately started holding private meetings. And even when the media was granted access, she would wrap up meetings as soon as the reporters would arrive. When Tiffany's reputation did a nosedive, she resorted to spirituality to prove her point. She claimed that she was a good spirit who was fighting with the devil.